We label those we've tried to avoid as the homeless, street people, or worse. But behind every man sleeping on a park bench, behind every woman asking for spare change, is a person with a story. And Bill Salmon knows it. A volunteer here at Toronto's Good Shepherd Ministries, Bill wasn't always standing on this side of the food line. Tell me what you love about volunteering and helping here.
It's twofold, actually. Number one, I love the feeling of being able to give back because the Good Shepherd did so much for me. But also it's selfish as well, too, because it's a good remember when, I call it. And I remember when I was out on the streets and lining up at the kitchens and in the same scenario. So it works both ways.
It's hard to imagine Bill on the streets. He was there, but he didn't start out that way.
I grew up in suburbia in Etobicoke, eldest of 6 children. One passed away. Mom and Dad were regular blue-collar people. Married very young. I think I was 21 and my wife was 20. Bought a house right away. Things were great for a few years. I was vice president of operations for a company. I was with the same firm for 20 years. I was director of operations for another logistics and transportation company. We just did food and beverage distribution. And I excelled. I did quite well. Like financially, we had the big monster house and the 2 cars and the 2 kids and the RSPs and had everything going.
Or so it seemed, but Bill struggled with depression, anxiety, and panic attack disorder. So he self-medicated, using alcohol to control his inner demons. He managed to keep all his dysfunction under the wraps of a $110,000 a year job, until life took a tragic turn.
In '92, I was involved in a motor vehicle accident. His fatality was quite tragic. I took 110 stitches across the forehead here, and I had frontal lobe brain injury. And my personality changed completely. All the mental defects, I guess, for lack of another terminology, started to kick in, and I just went downhill in a hurry. I had a complete breakdown in '98. I was off work for 4 months, and I came out of that one completely manic, just gone, you know, out of control. And
what happens to your family, meanwhile?
I not only burnt bridges behind me, I blew them up. Cost me the love of a beautiful woman. We were together for 23 years. Cost me alienation from my 2 now adult daughters. They were in their teens, I guess, at that time.
Lost your job, lost your
everything.
marriage.
I had a period there where my dad died, separated, got fired, had a heart attack, and my mom died. And that all happened within a span of I forget, a couple of year period or something like that. And it just steadily spiraled downhill to the point where I lost everything near and dear to me. I lost all the financial I had worked my entire life to build. I mean, I literally was sleeping across the street in behind St. Paul's Basilica here. And these good people here, thank God, provided a bed and some food and some clothing and helped me get back on track.
Somewhere in that downward spiral, you decide you need to reconnect with God. Why?
I was lost and I had to get found. And I did that through getting back and going to church, getting involved here and volunteering, getting involved in 12-step programs, praying like I never did before. My knees hit the floor in the morning and they're bruised, you know, I just bang, I get down there and I pray and I ask him for guidance for the day. I ask him if he can keep me clean and sober and do the next right thing all the time. And at night I pray and I thank him for my sobriety for that day as well too, being clean and sober.
Bill, could you have done this without Jesus Christ?
No, no way. No, I still wear this to this day. I don't know if you can see that. This has 2 acronyms here. It's Walk with Jesus Daily or What Would Jesus Do? So if I'm walking along and confronted with a situation, I got to give myself a glance down here. What would Jesus do? And here's another good reminder for me too. These are scars from being handcuffed to the stretcher in the mental health ward at the Mississauga Hospital for 72 hours. And I don't want to go back there.